What if the most popular sport in America was invented because a gym teacher was desperate to keep rowdy students from tearing his classroom apart? Please stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll discover how two peach baskets and pure desperation created a multi-billion-dollar phenomenon that changed the world. It's December 1891, and James Naismith is sweating. Not from exercise, from panic. The 30-year-old gym teacher at the International YMCA Training School in Springfield, Massachusetts, has a huge problem. Winter has arrived, and his students are trapped indoors. These aren't gentle students. They're rough, athletic young men who've been playing football and lacrosse all fall. Now they're stuck inside doing marching drills and calisthenics. They're bored, they're angry, and they're getting dangerous. Naismith's boss, Luther Gulick, gives him an ultimatum. You have 14 days to invent a new indoor game or you're done. The pressure is real. Two other instructors have already tried and failed. The students have rejected every idea. So Naismith starts thinking. He needs a game that's active but not too violent. Something that works in a small space. Something completely new. He thinks about the games he loved as a kid. One memory stands out. Duck on a rock, where you gently toss a stone to knock another stone off a large rock. That's when inspiration hits. What if the goal requires a soft, arcing shot instead of a hard throw? What if he puts the goal up high, above everyone's heads, so players can't just surround it and block it? He rushes to find the school janitor. I need 2 square boxes, about 18 inches across, Naismith says. The janitor searches the storage room and comes back shaking his head. No boxes, he says, but I found these. Naismith grabs a hammer and nails those peach baskets to the lower rail of the gymnasium balcony, one at each end. The rail is exactly 10 feet high. That random measurement, it would define basketball forever. He writes up 13 simple rules, grabs a soccer ball, and calls his class of 18 young men together. He divides them into 2 teams of 9 players each. Then he explains his new game, basketball. The students are skeptical. One student, Frank Mahan, actually says, harumph, another new game, but they agree to try. Naismith tosses the ball up between the 2 center players, and chaos immediately breaks out. Remember, these guys are used to football. They're tackling, they're wrestling, they're getting physical. Years later, Naismith would recall that first game in a radio interview. One boy was knocked out. Several of them had black eyes, and one had a dislocated shoulder. After that first match, I was afraid they'd kill each other. But here's the fantastic part. Despite the violence, despite the injuries, the students absolutely loved it. They kept begging Naismith to let them play again. So he went back to the drawing board and added more rules. No running with the ball, no tackling. More emphasis on skill and teamwork. And there was one more hilarious problem. The peach baskets still had their bottoms. Every single time someone scored, which wasn't often, the game had to stop completely. Someone had to climb a ladder, reach into the basket, and pull the ball out. In that very first game, only 1 goal was scored. 1. William R. Chase from New Bedford, Massachusetts, made a shot from mid-court. The final score was 1-0, and everyone had to wait while someone climbed up to get the ball. Eventually, someone got smart and poked a hole in the bottom of the baskets so they could push the ball out with a stick. But it would be 15 years before they finally just cut the bottoms out completely and used metal hoops with nets. Now here's what makes this story incredible. Naismith's students went home for Christmas break just a few weeks later, and they took the game with them to their hometowns, to their YMCAs, to their friends and families. Within months, basketball was being played across America. Within a year, women were playing at Smith College. Within a decade, it was spreading around the world. By 1936, it was an Olympic sport, and Naismith himself was there in Berlin to toss the ball for the very first Olympic basketball game. Today, basketball is a multi-billion-dollar industry. The NBA alone generates over $10 billion in revenue. Over 450 million people worldwide play basketball. And it all started because one desperate teacher needed to keep 18 rowdy young men busy during a Massachusetts winter. Think about that. 2 peach baskets, nailed to a wall, 10 feet high by pure chance. That's the foundation of one of the world's most beloved sports. So here's what I want you to think about today. James Naismith didn't set out to create a global phenomenon. He was trying to solve a problem. He was trying to keep his students safe and engaged. He was doing his job. But because he was creative, because he didn't give up when the pressure was on, because he was willing to try something nobody had ever done before, he changed millions of lives. He gave the world something beautiful. What problems are you facing right now that might actually be opportunities? What creative solutions are hiding in your everyday life? You don't need to invent the next basketball, but you might invent something that matters deeply to the people around you. And here's the other lesson. Document your innovations, preserve your creative moments. Naismith wrote down those 13 original rules. And you know what? In 2010, that handwritten document sold at auction for $4.3 million. Not because of the money it represented, but because of the story it told. Because it was the beginning of something that brought joy to millions. What are you creating right now that deserves to be remembered? What ideas are you having that might seem small today, but could ripple forward through generations? Maybe it's time to write them down, to preserve them, to make sure your creative legacy doesn't get lost. Drop a comment below and tell me what's something you've created or invented, even in a small way, that made life better for the people around you. Maybe it's a family game, a new tradition, a solution to a problem at work. I want to hear your stories, because every innovation, no matter how small, deserves to be celebrated. If this story inspired you, then you absolutely need to join the History Sparks community. Every single day, we're uncovering these incredible moments when ordinary people did extraordinary things, when creativity met opportunity, when someone refused to give up and changed the world because of it. Hit that subscribe button right now, because tomorrow we've got another story that'll show you how one person's creative courage became everyone's treasure. Don't just watch history. Become part of the community that celebrates the innovators, the dreamers, and the problem solvers who came before us. And remember, your story matters too. The traditions you're creating, the problems you're solving, the joy you're spreading, that's all part of the grand story of human creativity. So what will you create today? What problem will you solve in a way that nobody's tried before? Share your innovation stories in the comments. Let's celebrate creativity together. I read every single comment, and your stories inspire the content we create here at History Sparks. I'll see you tomorrow for another incredible story that'll make you see your own creative potential in a whole new light. Until then, keep sparking those ideas, keep solving those problems, keep creating your legacy.